How's everybody doing? Everybody good? I'm wonderful. Wonderful. All right. First, just want to start off thanking everyone again for coming out today, uh, and we'll talk about tomorrow night's game. If you got any questions about you know our Sunday game, feel free to ask on that too. But looking forward to an opportunity again to play uh, another really good basketball team here on senior night. We're going to be celebrating three seniors that are here for 1 year with us through the portal, which is kind of the new thing. Uh, and just very fortunate and blessed to have had these three with us for this year. Nina, Sid, and Kiki are not only really talented basketball players, but they're great people, and they have brought a lot to our program, a lot to the city, our university, just with how they handle themselves, how they carry themselves, uh, and it's been a joy to coach them. I can honestly say it's been one of the most enjoyable seasons that I've had. Sure, I'd love to be sitting here at 29-0, but that's part of the game. If we had a few games that I kicked myself in the rear end about, you want to get back, of course, and that's the case through every season. But in the terms of day to day, the travels, the time you spend with them, it has been an absolute joy to work with this entire team, and especially with our new ones, because each year when you bring in a group of new players, you're trying to figure them out. You're trying to get to know them. How are they all going to mesh? How's it going to be? And I can honestly say it's been fantastic. So I'm hoping that we have a huge turnout tomorrow night. I know it's an 8 p.m. game. Uh, but with that being said, I'm still hoping we can have a great crowd show up, show out, and cheer on this group, especially these three that will be playing. They're possibly their last home game here at the Yum Center. So if you got any questions, feel free to.
Jeff, with those three obviously participating on senior night, Olivia kind of had some comments on Facebook hinting that she might come back. Are those conversations you've had with her? Does she have a decision yet if she's going to return next year?
Well, I would think with her not playing, I mean, I plan on her not participating in tomorrow night's senior festivities, and Marissa Russell and Lee. I think their plans are to come back. So that's what our plans are. And we'd love to have them back. They O and Riss have been here for 4 years. It would make year 5, and absolutely have enjoyed them. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But they all know that they are wanted, and they've built themselves a legacy here. O and Riss have been a part already of 3 Elite 8 teams and a Final Four team. So that's pretty darn impressive for a career. So we'll see, but yes, I do expect him to come back.
Jeff, Sydney was talking about just now how yesterday you guys didn't practice at all. You just kind of talked and worked through some things. I'm guessing that was player-led, right? Or is that
No, coach and player-led.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. I guess just how important is that, right now, knowing what you have coming up, to have those conversations and kind of do that soul-searching, for lack of a better term?
Well, I think it's important. It's good to be able to sometimes sit down and see, okay, where's everybody at? It's been 8 straight weeks of 2 games a week, and the one time we played on Big Monday, it was 3 games in a week. And we've got a few that are tired. It's been a grind for them. The level of play is a lot higher than what they were used to. So not just the physical effort, but the mental effort that you have to put forward for every scout, every game. It's taxing. It's exhausting. And, just tried to talk to them all about, we've got a Thursday, Sunday, and then next week it could be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Who knows, depending where we end up with our seating. And then we'll get a 4-day stretch to get 4 days off because of the week in between the draw in the NCAA, the tournament, well, the ACC tournament and the NCAA tournament. You have a week in between. So we're going to give them time to be able to refresh, get rejuvenated. But I just challenged them. I said, but now's not the time. So we have a week and a half that we need to put the pedal down and see how we can challenge each other. And they had really good dialogue back and forth. And when you're willing to open up and be vulnerable, then your teammates really get a chance to get to know you. Coaches get a chance to know you. They get a chance to know us coaches as well. And I thought it was really, really good.
Jeff, as far as with this group, most coaches say around this time of the year they would hope to be playing, some of their best basketball. With this group, I guess, how close are they to kind of hitting that point where they're starting to hit that stride and they're playing to that level that, we've seen throughout this season?
That's what I'm saying. We've had stretches throughout this entire year, even this past week, even in Sunday's game, that we looked really good. What we have to eliminate is the stretches where we look disinterested, and that's at the defensive end. We showed them film. When we get up 9 with 7:30 to go, our intensity and effort was terrible. Our crowd's in here going crazy. It's as loud as it's been, and that's the best we can muster up. I always like to say I think one of the secrets of life is fake it to make it. And if you can't at least fake it, we got bigger problems. So we showed them that and asked, what was going through your mind? What was going through your mind? And, a lot of them like, I'm just trying not to mess up. I don't want to. And I'm like, well, that's our first problem. Because basketball is a game of mistakes. You're never going to play a perfect game. If you try to play a perfect game, you're going to be disappointed. It's a game of mistakes. It's just minimizing the mistakes and then hiding the mistakes. And if you play hard, a lot of times you won't even know a mistake was made.
Jeff, just talking about the importance of a victory tomorrow night and protecting home court as well against Florida State. What is the importance of getting that victory and doing such after having struggles at home?
Well, it's an important game to get. I appreciate the struggles at home since we've lost 2, right? We've lost 2 at home. That's some struggles. Lordy, my gosh. I'd hate to see what we'd be saying if we lost 3 or 4. The building might be collapsing. It's unique, and that's the fun part about this. In a lot of ways, is the expectations that we've created here are awesome. Because you'd rather have that than you think we can win a 3rd or 4th game here at home. So it's great, but I'm not going in there going, damn guys. I don't know what to do. We're one step into the grave. We played well at times. We've just got to be able to finish things out and put people away, and that comes from an attitude and an effort. And I said it. I think after the game, I said it in my radio show last night. We have 4 players that play a lot of minutes for us right now that are just about to play their 30th game for Louisville. And sometimes we think, well, they're a 5th-year kid. They're a transfer. They haven't played here. They don't know the expectations. They don't know the pressure. They don't know the bullseye that's on your back every night you play. Just watching Virginia celebrate after that game, it meant something to them. It meant it. And like on the flip side of things, I look at our kids, when we win a game, we get in a handshake line and go shake hands. Because it's like, well, we're supposed to win. So I'm trying to get our kids to understand you have to have joy winning too, because it's hard. We've just been fortunate to make it look easy here, but it is hard. And that's what I'm trying to get a lot of them to understand, and especially, the Olivia Cochran's, she started every game since she's a freshman here. She knows what it's like. She knows when people are coming at us, But I've got some other ones that they're great kids and they're learning this, but they're still trying to figure out what this is all about. And like I keep telling them, hey, we're running out of games, so let's figure this thing out tomorrow. that it's 40 minutes. You can't, you take 2 or 3 possessions off. Actually, you take 1 possession off and momentum starts rolling. And that's what happened in Sunday's game. We get up 9, and then we stand up on defense like, oh, we got up 9. And then we give up a 3. Then we turn it over. Then we give up an M1. And before you know it, you got yourself a ball game. And then momentum's a real thing in athletics. We have a breakdown guarding a simple horn set, and it turns into a wide open 3. And now all of a sudden you're down 3. So there's a lot for us to learn from going back and watching the games that we played. And it's really just about, we have to put 40 minutes. We have to stop worrying about what the score is and play the clock. And that's something that we really talked about yesterday was you can't play to get up 10 and then relax. If there's 7:30 left in the game, you got to keep playing hard for the next 7:30, and then the score will take care of itself.
Jeff, Sid mentioned you guys tried a couple different defensive things in practice. Is that more of a mentality thing that you've been talking about, or system, I guess, as specific as you can get?
No, we're just trying to figure out ways to stop people. That's all. I mean, we're just not a great man-to-man. I got you. She's got her. I mean, we've got to figure out ways to cover up some weaknesses at the defensive end of the floor. So that's why we're trying to throw different looks at people and trying to keep people as off balance as we can.
Going off of that, you've talked about just the guards being better defenders. Tanaya Latson, what kind of,
She good. Well, all of their guards are good. You know, it's a Florida State ball club that, you know, you go back, they scored 84 points. They beat Boston College 84-71 and made 1 3-point shot. I mean, it is a ball club. They are getting up and down this floor. There's normally not less than 16 seconds on the shot clock before a shot is taken. They're pushing it. They're looking to score as quick as they can. And you've got to sprint back on defense. You've got to contain them. You've got to make sure that you're in a stance because that they don't stop coming. So as soon as you stand up the rest, it's over. They're going right by you. All of their guards, extremely talented. Talented. They're all playing at a high level right now. They've won 3 in a row. They've won, 6 of their last 7. I mean, they're playing really good basketball. So we're going to get their best shot. And we know that. And we've got to make sure that we give them our best shot. I mean, it's a big game for both of us. You know, I think there's 4 of us tied right now at 11-5 in league standings. And we're tied with Florida State and Notre Dame, and we play them both here the last 2 games. Notre Dame, I believe, has Virginia Tech on Thursday night. So there's a lot to be said about what takes place here on Thursday and Sunday, depending on where we're going to finish in the conference standings.
We've talked before that basketball is basketball when it comes to the ever-changing transfer roster every year, but with new group and different personalities, do you learn more about yourself as a coach dealing with each different group each year?
No, you're just trying to manage the team at hand. You know, everybody talks about culture, and I think we have a great culture here, you know, a winning culture. And I think that just proves to the fact that we're 22-7, and people are like, "Hey, what's wrong? You guys okay?" You know, because we've won at a high level, and you know, you just have to adapt to the landscape that's in front of you. So the portal is the portal. NIL is NIL. So you can not like one or the other or both, but they're still going to be there. So as a coach, you're just trying to figure out your players, trying to figure out what motivates them, because everybody's not motivated by the same thing. And as a coach, it's our job to make sure we learn each individual player how can I get to Jada Curry? How can I get Jada Curry? How can I get her to flip the switch? How can I get Jada? She's a wonderful young lady off the court, and she's a wonderful young lady on the court, and that's not a good thing. I got to get her to get mean. She got to flip a switch. Now, because she scores the ball. She can score it offensively, defensively. She wants none of it. And that's what I'm challenging her on. It's like, in the Virginia game, there's like 12 points that she just backed off people and they scored. I didn't want to get beat. Well, you got beat because you backed off. You can't have that mindset. So I'm trying to figure out with her, okay, what can I get to get her going? And it's what I told Kiki. I'm a big believer, like I said, fake it to make it. It was a beautiful day on Monday. So got home a little bit early, went out in the driveway. It was Lucy and me versus Lola and Mom. And the rules are you can't block Lucy's shot. You can steal the ball from her, but you can't block her shot. So I made one of my seldom passes that she caught, that I actually made, and she scored and then gave the old 2 arms down and flexed. And she was like, "Who's this?" And Lo goes, "That's Kiki." And Lucy goes, "Yeah, that was Kiki a few months ago." So I told Kiki that. I said, you got an 8-year-old who watches you play and sees you don't seem to have the same joy that you're playing with now that you did a month ago. And if an 8-year-old can see it, don't you think everybody we play can see it as well? And it was good. And Kiki and I had a great conversation. And she's tired. She's mentally and physically exhausted. Because this is a level that she's never played at. This many games in a row. And, but talking to her about it, she's like, I can still bring that. I can still do that. I said, I know you can. This is where you fight through the wall. You push through the wall. And then when you get to the other side, win or lose, it's an unbelievable feeling. And that's one of the things that we talked about with yesterday was you'll in sports, only one team wins the championship. So you might live with regret of, God, if I would have just made that shot. God, if I just would have made the pass to the runner on the left instead of the kid on the right, maybe we score. But you don't want to live with the regret of, if I would have worked a little harder, if I would have worked on my skill set. In the summer, if I would have just spent an extra 15 minutes on my ball handling. On the scouting report, I'm not a really good three-point shooter, but in the summer, I worked a little bit, but not much. Now, those are the regrets you don't want to have. You can't get back. And that's what we talked about. Like, don't live with that regret. That's a terrible feeling to have. So I thought things went well. And it doesn't mean we're going to win tomorrow night. But it's the one thing I've always said about this fan base and just our Louisville fans in general. You come out and you play hard. The Micasas of the world. The Dana Evans, the Maisha Hines-Hounds, the Sam Furings that we've had here. Emily Inksler. You come out here and you lay it on that floor and you play hard, win or lose, they're going to cheer for you. Sure, we want to win more than we lose. I'm not stupid. But they're going to cheer for you. But you go half-ass, you don't dive on the floor after loose balls, they don't like that. And they shouldn't. I don't like it. So those are the things that we talked about. And the great thing about this, about sport, is all it takes is one game, one day. And then all of a sudden you start to believe in yourself, you start to believe in each other, and then you start being able to do more than you ever dreamed that you could do. And, we've been fortunate enough to be able to do that a lot here. And we're going to see if we can't keep things rolling. Because at the end of the day, as I always say, you're playing all these games to get prepared for, hopefully, the NCAA tournament. We got our conference tournament. Sure, we're going in there to win that thing too. But you play your conference tournament to hopefully win that to get into the NCAA tournament. So we're going to keep pushing, tighten some screws up, and see if we can't get it to where we're playing our best here when our tournament starts up. Thank you, everybody.